Charles Darwin changed the way we understand life on Earth. But how did a quiet naturalist become one of the most influential scientists in history? In this video, we'll explore his journey, his groundbreaking discoveries, and how his ideas continue to shape science today. Born in 1809 in Shrewsbury, England, Darwin was naturally curious. As a child, he spent hours exploring the countryside, collecting insects, and observing plants. His father, a respected doctor, wanted him to follow in his footsteps, but young Charles found medical school dull, especially since surgery in those days was performed without anesthesia. Instead, he turned to theology at Cambridge, where he met professors who encouraged his love for nature. One mentor, John Henslow, recognized Darwin's potential and recommended him for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, a voyage on a scientific expedition around the world. In 1831, at just 22 years old, Darwin set sail aboard the HMS Beagle, the mission to map the South American coastline. But for Darwin, this journey was much more. It was the adventure that would change everything. For 5 years, the Beagle traveled to places like Brazil, Argentina, and Chile. Darwin studied diverse landscapes, collected specimens, and observed how animals varied from one place to another. But it was the Galapagos Islands that truly sparked his big idea. On these isolated islands, he noticed that finches had different beak shapes depending on what they ate. Some had long, thin beaks for eating insects, while others had strong, thick beaks for cracking nuts. Why were they different? Could they have adapted to their environments over time? This was the beginning of a revolutionary idea, one that would take Darwin decades to fully develop. Back in England, Darwin spent years analyzing his findings. He realized that species were not fixed, they changed over time. But how? Through careful study, Darwin proposed a simple yet powerful idea: natural selection. Here's how it works. Variation. In any species, individuals are slightly different from one another. Survival of the fittest. Some traits help individuals survive better than others. Reproduction. Those with the best traits are more likely to pass them on to their offspring. Gradual change. Over thousands or even millions of years, these changes can lead to new species. This process, which he called evolution by natural selection, explained the incredible diversity of life on Earth. For 20 years, Darwin hesitated to publish his theory. He knew it would be controversial. In the 19th century, most people believed that species were created exactly as they were, with no changes over time. But in 1858, another scientist, Alfred Russel Wallace, independently came up with a similar theory. Realizing that his work needed to be shared, Darwin finally published On the Origin of Species in 1859. The book was a sensation. Some praised Darwin's ideas, while others saw them as a threat to religious beliefs. But one thing was clear: Darwin had provided a scientific explanation for the development of life. Darwin's theory didn't just change biology, it influenced fields like genetics, medicine, and even psychology. In genetics, scientists later discovered DNA, proving that traits are passed from one generation to the next, just as Darwin predicted. In medicine, evolution helps us understand diseases and how viruses like COVID-19 mutate over time. In conservation, Darwin's work reminds us that all species are connected, emphasizing the importance of protecting biodiversity. Even today, his ideas continue to evolve as scientists make new discoveries. Despite the controversy, Darwin remained dedicated to science. He continued studying plants, barnacles, and even the role of worms in soil. He passed away in 1882 at the age of 73. In recognition of his contributions, he was buried in Westminster Abbey, an honor given to only the greatest British thinkers. More than 140 years later, Darwin's impact is still felt worldwide. His work laid the foundation for modern science, shaping our understanding of life itself. From a curious young boy to a world-changing scientist, Charles Darwin's journey was one of discovery and perseverance. His theory of evolution remains one of the most important ideas in science. What do you think about Darwin's impact? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.